You lie still. Your body sinks into the mattress, your limbs soften, and the day begins to let go of you. Around you, quiet settles like a gentle mist. The walls fade, the ceiling disappears, and beneath all of this, beneath your bed, your room, your house, the earth holds you, solid, reliable, silent, but the silence is only on the surface. Underneath you, the ground is not still. It turns slowly and endlessly, like the wheel of a great invisible clock. It spins beneath oceans, beneath mountains, beneath cities and forests and sleeping children. It turns beneath you now, even as your breath slows and your eyes grow heavy. The earth is in motion. It always has been. And yet, you feel nothing. This is where our journey begins, in the stillness that isn't really still. On a planet that spins once every 24 hours, fast enough at the equator to cover 1,000 miles in a single hour. But you feel no rush, no motion, no lean, just the gentle rise and fall of your chest and the hush of your own heartbeat. You're cradled by the illusion of stillness. Imagine this. You're on a smooth train, gliding through the countryside with no bumps, no noise, no windows. The motion is so steady, so perfect, that you forget you're moving at all. Your body relaxes. Your mind floats. This is what it feels like to live on Earth and a moving world where motion becomes your norm, not your notice. The ground beneath you was never designed to reveal its secrets so easily. It whispers them instead. You hear it in the quiet rustle of leaves as air shifts across a spinning surface. You feel it in the rhythm of day and night, each sunrise a consequence of Earth's constant turning. You see it in the arc of stars that slide across the night sky, not because the stars move, but because we do. Stillness is an illusion born of belonging. You don't feel the earth spinning because you are part of the spin. Your atoms, your bones, your breath, all were born into this motion. It's not something happening to you, it's something happening with you. The earth began spinning when it first formed, over 4 billion years ago. Long before oceans, before animals, before language. Spinning, not from some choice, but from momentum. A cloud of dust collapsing under gravity, swirling as it gathered, spinning faster as it shrank, like an ice skater pulling arms inward. That early spin never stopped. It became the heartbeat of the planet, and it has carried every life form, every mountain, every ocean ever since, including you. Even now, as you rest, you're moving through space, swept gently in this ancient rotation. You're not lying still, you're gliding slowly, rhythmically through the dark. You and the ground beneath you are passengers on the same path, dancing together through time. And yet this movement doesn't disturb your sleep. It doesn't ripple your dreams. Because the body is wise, it senses danger, change, imbalance. But this motion, the earth's turning, is none of those. It is stable, predictable, balanced. The kind of motion that doesn't shout or shake. The kind that soothes, like rocking in a cradle. Stillness, then, is not about lack of movement. It is about harmony with it. Your stillness comes from being perfectly in sync with the motion that surrounds you. You are not resisting it. You are riding it. And because you move with it, you do not feel it. Like a leaf floating on a current, you are carried, and in being carried, you are calm. The Earth's surface moves fastest at the equator and slowest near the poles. But no matter where you are, you move with it. There is no skipping a beat, no delay. You and the ground share a rhythm deeper than thought. Even the air moves with a spin, wrapped around the planet like a soft, flowing blanket. This is why you feel still, because everything moves with you. Somewhere deep inside you, your cells understand this. Perhaps this is why stillness feels sacred, because it's not the absence of movement, but the presence of balance. You are part of a great scintillant wheel, turning through night into morning, and the quiet you feel is not a sign of nothingness, but a sign of belonging. Now, as your eyelids grow heavier and your thoughts begin to slow, or you're becoming part of that balance again, the muscles in your face soften, Your jaw loosens, the corners of your body blur. There is nothing to do now, nowhere to go, just rest. And the turning of the earth beneath you. It's always there, even when you forget, even when you don't feel it, even when you sleep. You're never truly still, you're simply moving with the world. And now that you know that even when you are resting, you are part of something so vast, so constant, so beautifully slow, perhaps you can let go more easily. Perhaps the quiet makes more sense. Perhaps the stillness beneath your feet has a voice you can almost hear. A soft voice saying you are part of the motion, not apart from it. And maybe, just maybe, if everything is already moving, then what does it mean to feel motion at all? You are spinning right now, even as your body lies still. Cradled in cotton and quiet, you are moving effortlessly, invisibly. The room around you doesn't whisper it. The air doesn't hint at it. Your skin remains undisturbed, and yet you spin with the floor, the house, the trees, the oceans, and every sleeping creature across the globe. The earth turns beneath the night like a gentle carousel, one full rotation every 24 hours, a vast, seamless twirl that carries all of us together. But not a single bump, not a single jolt, not even a sound. Why don't you feel it? This is not a trick, not a failure of the senses. It's a harmony too complete to disturb. You are moving with the earth, not against it, and when everything around you, your body, the air, the buildings, the mountains, is spinning at the same constant speed, motion disappears into equilibrium. There is no whoosh, no lean, no hint of haste, only stillness. The reason lies in a simple truth. Motion, when constant, is quiet, like being on a smooth train that glides across the tracks, or floating in the eye of a moving storm. You feel motion when it changes, when it starts, stops, turns, or trembles. But constant motion, the kind that cradles rather than throws, becomes part of your world, becomes invisible. That's what the Earth's spin is, constant motion without change, a steady rhythm so ancient your body was born into it and never learnt to question it. If you were on a merry-go-round that started to spin, you'd feel the tug outward. The faster it turns, the more it pulls at your body. That's acceleration, a change in speed or direction. But Earth doesn't do that. It's not speeding up, it's not turning faster, it just spins, evenly, smoothly, as it has for billions of years. This gentle spin began in the earliest days of the solar system, when dust and gas collapsed inward, swirling around like water down a drain. As gravity drew everything together, the spin sped up, and the newborn Earth inherited that swirl. It hasn't stopped since, and because there's nothing in space to slow it down, no friction, no resistance, it keeps turning, like a top that never runs out of spin. Still, it's strange, isn't it? To be moving so fast and yet feel so calm. At the equator, you're travelling about 1,000 miles per hour and faster than a speeding bullet. But there's no flapping of hair, no pressure on your skin. And why? Because everything you see and touch is moving with you. The air you breathe, it's rotating too. The chair, the trees, the oceans, even the clouds sweeping across the moonlit sky are part of this shared journey. You're not racing through the atmosphere. You are nestled inside it. There is no wind because there is no resistance, no struggle, just pure balanced motion. You are like a leaf floating on a river, not battling the current, but moving with it. The motion is there, but it does not disturb. It carries you without protest. And in this perfect balance, your body finds peace. You don't need to adjust. You don't need to brace. The Earth's spin is so smooth, so symmetrical that your inner senses, the ones that warn you of motion, of falling, of imbalance, stay silent. Inside your ears, tiny loops filled with fluid, your vestibular system wait for sudden turns, sharp jolts, tipping angles. But Earth's spin offers none of those. It turns beneath you with a rhythm so slow, so even, it leaves your balance undisturbed. Your body simply accepts it, like the background hum of existence. And this stillness you feel is not the absence of motion. It's the presence of unity. The Earth spins, you spin, the air spins, and because nothing breaks that shared momentum, you feel nothing at all. It's only when the rhythm breaks, in a car that brakes suddenly, or a boat that rocks in waves, that you feel motion as discomfort, the surprise of change, the imbalance. But tonight, as you rest, There is no surprise, no rocking, only the subtle, silent swirl of the world turning. If the Earth were to suddenly stop, you would feel it, catastrophically. Everything not anchored would keep moving forward, flung by inertia. But that's not the world we live in. We live in the miracle of consistency, in a motion that holds us, not hurls us. So you lie here, unmoved and yet always moving. And perhaps that's the truest kind of peace. Not the absence of change, but a perfect balance within it. Imagine the path you trace today, from your morning steps to your evening sighs. All of it, gently spinning through space. You didn't feel the arc beneath your feet, but it was there. A vast circle drawn silently through the stars. Tonight, that circle continues. Your body lies still, the planet turns, and together, without friction or fear, you spin. There's a comfort in knowing the world moves without needing to be felt. A kind of trust built into the physics of nature, that constant motion can feel like rest, that the most important forces of your life might be the ones you never notice. And so, with every hour that passes, the stars shift overhead. Not because they move, but because you do. The sky appears to turn, because the ground beneath you turns faster than your eyes can grasp. A quiet revolution, a journey you never chose but always share. And perhaps, if the ground can spin beneath you without a sound, then what else might be happening, always invisibly, while you sleep? Your body is already in motion, not just now, not just today, but always. From the moment you were born, the earth has carried you in its turn, and you, without ever resisting, have moved with it. And beneath that, something even more quiet, more ancient, more subtle than Hüttustunselves and spin is at work. This is inertia. You don't feel it. But it remembers. It holds every motion you've ever had, like a thread that never snaps. It keeps you gliding long after the push is gone, turning long after the cause is forgotten. Inertia is the poetry of persistence, a soft whisper that says, keep going. Tonight, as your limbs soften and your thoughts grow misty, inertia holds you in its gentle embrace. It is not a force that pushes you, it is not a hand that pulls, it is a tendency, a truth, a law that lingers. Things that move will keep moving, unless something tells them to stop, and nothing tells you to stop. You lie still, but your body, your true motion, continues. The Earth spins, the Earth orbits, the solar system drifts through space. You're carried in so many ways, on so many paths, yet none of them need reminding. You move simply because you are already moving. Imagine throwing a pebble across a frozen lake. Once it leaves your hand, it skims forward, untouched, uninterrupted, gliding on and on. That's inertia in its purest form. Motion that doesn't need effort to continue. Just the absence of resistance. You're like that pebble, riding on layers of cosmic smoothness. There is no hand to push you now and none needed. You are in motion, and so you remain. Inertia is why a car continues rolling after your foot leaves the gas pedal. Why a spaceship, once launched, can sail through the vacuum of space without fuel is not magic, it's memory. The kind of memory held in motion, not in mind. And here on Earth, inertia is woven into every quiet moment. Think of riding in a plane. When it lifts into the sky and reaches a steady pace, you feel nothing. You might even forget you're flying. That's inertia. Your body has joined the motion. It's not resisting, not adjusting. It just continues. Now think of Earth, a ball of rock spinning in the void. It's moving, but it's not speeding up or slowing down. There's no sudden stop, no corner, no jolt. And so inertia allows your body to keep moving with it, quietly, continuously, and without sensation. You are already part of the dance. Nothing needs to remind you. Inertia is the reason you don't feel the spin. You feel changes in motion, starts, stops, turns, but never the ongoing flow. That's why roller coasters jolt your stomach, why elevators surprise your balance. It's the sudden change, the shift in the story that the body notices. But in Earth's spin, the story never changes. And so you lie here, unaware of the 1,000-mile-per-hour path beneath you. Unaware because nothing is trying to stop you, nothing is pushing against you. You're in sync with the surface, the atmosphere, the oceans, all moving together in serene continuation. Inertia is not stubbornness, it's harmony. And it works both ways. Just as things in motion stay in motion, things at rest stay at rest. unless something nudges them. A cup on a table doesn't start sliding unless it's tilted. A ball doesn't roll unless something sends it. Stillness too is honoured by inertia, but what's most beautiful is when both ideas meet, when you are still in your frame of reference, yet moving in a greater one. That's the quiet miracle of lying in bed on a spinning earth. You feel still because nothing within your immediate world disrupts that stillness. Yet in the wider world, you move through space with constant grace. You are, in a way, still and moving at once, held in the balance of perspective. There's a comfort in this, knowing that your motion is protected, sustained, preserved, that you don't need to hold it or power it or even know it. It simply is. Inertia ensures it. And perhaps your mind works in similar ways. Thoughts that begin carry on long after the moment has passed. Emotions too have inertia, sadness that lingers, joy that echoes, worry that loops. We are creatures of momentum, both in body and in mind, but here, now, under the calm of night, you can let the mental motion slow. Let your thoughts drift, gently into quieter waters. There is no need to push, no need to pull. Like the earth, like your body, your thoughts can coast now, softened by the absence of resistance. You're already in the rhythm. You don't need to begin again. You're already moving. Let that be enough. And just as the earth keeps turning without asking, so too can you breathe without effort. Sleep without force, float into rest without trying. Let inertia hold you, softly, like a blanket of continued motion. A motion you no longer have to carry. Because the story of your motion darted long before this moment, and it continues effortlessly now. You are not drifting, you are continuing, not starting. Simply staying in motion, just as you always were. And as your breath slows and the stillness deepens, perhaps you wonder, if inertia keeps you moving once motion begins, then what keeps you grounded, even while the world turns beneath you? There is a hand beneath you, silent, invisible, ever-present. It is not made of flesh nor of stone, it does not grasp, it does not squeeze, it simply holds, softly, constantly, and without it you would float away, not just from your bed, but from the very planet you call home. This is gravity. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. But you can feel its quiet insistence every moment of your life. When you lie down at night and the mattress welcomes your weight, that's gravity. When your chest rises and falls, and your breath doesn't drift into the air, that's gravity too. It holds the air close to the earth, the oceans tight to the land, the moon in its dance with us. It holds you now. Unlike other forces that shout their presence, gravity whispers. It hums beneath everything, a silent lullaby sung by the earth. You don't notice it until it's gone, and it never truly leaves. It is the earth's way of saying stay close. Gravity is what pulls you inward, toward the planet's center. No matter where you are, mountaintop or meadow, desert or sea, it draws you in, gently, persistently, not to trap you, but to keep you connected, to remind your body where down is, to offer orientation in a spinning world. And yes, the earth spins rapidly, you know this now. But even as it turns, even as it rotates beneath your resting body, gravity keeps you grounded. You don't fly off, you don't slide to, because gravity is stronger than the outward push of that spin. It wins the tug of war every time, pulling you back with a quiet, endless grace. Imagine this. You tie a string to a stone and spin it in a circle. The stone wants to fly outward, but the string keeps it close. That's what gravity does. You are the stone. The Earth's gravity is the string. It holds you, not tightly, but firmly enough that you remain part of this beautiful turning. But gravity doesn't only hold you, it holds everything. It holds oceans to the shore. Each tide is shaped by gravity. Not only Earth's, but the moon's. It holds clouds in the sky, not so much as to pin them down, but enough to keep them from drifting into space. It holds mountains in place and gives rivers their direction. Even your tears fall because gravity gently suggests they do. You may think of gravity as a downward force, but really it is inward, toward the center, toward home. And that's why no matter where you are on Earth, standing upright at the equator or upside down from someone else's point of view, gravity always feels like down. This pull gives you weight, but it does not make you heavy. Heaviness is perception. Gravity is presence. It keeps you tethered, not burdened, anchored, not trapped. It's the soft pull of the earth saying, stay here, you belong. The idea that such a force exists, one that acts on everything, everywhere, all the time, is astonishing. And yet it goes unnoticed in most moments of your life. When you drop a book, it falls. When you walk, your foot meets the ground. All of it gravity, quietly ensuring continuity, silently guiding motion, and in space, where gravity is weaker, not absent, things behave differently. Astronauts float not because gravity is gone, but because they're falling together with their spaceship in perfect freefall. That floating you see is just a body with no floor pushing back, no anchor like the one beneath you now. You, though, are anchored. Your spine rests into the mattress. Your breath moves rhythmically in the chest that gravity hugs close to the earth. Even your dreams unfold within this embrace, because your brain, your blood, your balance, all rely on this unseen hand to function smoothly. Without gravity, your body would not know up from down. Your bones would weaken, your muscles would drift, your balance would blur. You need this pull, not just to stand, but to be. Gravity gives you more than physical grounding. It gives you orientation in every sense of the word. It's the reason water flows downhill. It's why planets orbit the sun. It's why the Earth remains round, pulled into a sphere by the equal tug in all directions. And perhaps, quietly, poetically, gravity is the reason you feel safe when you rest. When you curl beneath blankets and let your weight sink in, it's gravity you're feeling. Not a force of threat, but of care. Not a force to fear, but to trust. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to understand every equation. You only need to know that gravity is there. Always. Without pause, without condition. It doesn't demand your attention. It simply holds you, softly, steadily, without ever letting go. So tonight, let yourself lean into it. Let your muscles loosen, your breath deepen, your thoughts quiet. Gravity is doing the work for you. It's holding you to this turning world with all the calm of a parent's arm around a sleeping child. And when morning comes and you rise again, it will still be there. That quiet hand, that pull toward home. You do not need to grip the earth. It grips you, gently, completely. And as you drift deeper into rest, perhaps you wonder, if gravity pulls you inward with such care, then how can a planet keep spinning so fast without anything pushing it? You are moving at the perfect speed, not too fast to frighten, not too slow to slip, just fast enough to keep everything in balance. This is the quiet secret of the Earth's rotation. It spins at a speed so precisely tuned, it becomes invisible to the body, undetectable to the senses, and comforting to the soul. Right now, as you lie here, you are circling the Earth's centre. At the equator, this speed is over 1,000 miles per hour. Where you are, it may be less, and depending on your place on the globe, but the principle remains. You're turning always on a planet that spins like a slow pirouette in the void, and still, you feel nothing. This is not just a trick of perception, it's the beauty of balance. The Earth spins just fast enough to counteract the outward tug that would come from its rotation, yet not so fast that gravity is overcome. The result is a perfect tension, a dance between spinning outward and falling inward. You're held in that balance, not thrown from it. If the Earth spun much faster, gravity wouldn't win so easily. You would feel lighter. At some extreme speed, you'd begin to lift, gently at first, then completely, as gravity's hold loosened. Objects would drift, oceans would bulge, the delicate rhythm of life would fray. If the Earth spun much slower, you'd never feel motion at all, not even in thought. Days would lengthen, nights would stretch. The cycles of time would lose their tempo, weather patterns would warp, the pace of life born of rotation would slow to a crawl, but the Earth does neither. It spins at the just right speed. Not a universal right, not a magical number, just the speed that makes this life possible, a speed we don't question because we've never known another. You were born into this motion, into this rhythm, into this tempo, like a song that began before you could listen, and one you've been dancing to ever since. Your body knows it. Not through thought, but through harmony. Think of a dancer on a stage, turning in perfect circles. If the spin is too fast, it jolts. If too slow, it stutters. But when it's just right, when motion and balance meet, it becomes graceful, natural, almost unnoticeable. That's the Earth. That's the spin you live inside. And because everything, your body, the air, the trees, the oceans, is part of this same rotation, you don't feel it as movement. You feel it as stillness. Because stillness, in truth, is not the absence of motion. It's the presence of perfect motion, motion that carries you so gently, so evenly, that there is nothing left to feel. This is the stillness you know now. This is the calm of a spinning world. Even gravity and motion collaborate in this. Gravity pulls you inward, toward the Earth's centre. The spin wants to pull you outward, away from it. But at the surface, especially near the equator, those two forces nearly match. Not perfectly, but closely enough that the Earth maintains its shape, a slight bulge at the waist, a narrowing at the poles, a planet shaped by compromise. And in this shape, and in this spin, life unfolds. Water flows downhill, knowing where down is, because gravity defines it. But gravity is affected by the spin, slightly less at the equator, slightly more at the poles. You weigh a tiny bit less near the middle of the Earth than near the top or bottom. Not enough to notice, but enough to measure. Enough to remind us. The world's spin shapes even our weight. And yet you feel none of it. No tug, no sway, because this motion is shared. Like passengers on a carousel, everything spins together. The earth, the air, the clouds, all locked into the same motion, the same rhythm. There is no relative change, and in that sameness, there is stillness. You could say it's like sitting on a boat that sails a perfectly straight, unbending course. If the waters are calm, you don't know you're moving. Your cup doesn't tip, your body doesn't brace. The boat, the air, and your breath are all moving together. Motion without disturbance. The Earth's spin is that boat, and the cosmos is its ocean. It's easy to forget that such perfection exists, easy to overlook that you live on a spinning sphere, hurtling through space, and yet you feel no fear, no sense of losing ground. That's the genius of balance. When it's working, you never notice it, and perhaps this is why we call some places peaceful, because their motion matches our own, because the spin of the world and the rhythm of the moment are in sync. And so we call it calm, even though everything is moving. Your breath moves. The wind outside moves. The planet spins beneath your feet. And still you sleep. This perfect speed, this dance between spin and gravity, is what makes night and day. It's why the sun rises and falls. It's why shadows change. And it's why time exists in a way we can measure. One turn, one day. A slow spin that creates rhythm from physics and poetry from precision. And you, nestled in blankets, are part of that rhythm. Every moment of stillness you feel is part of that great emotion. You are not separate from it. You are folded into it. You don't need to slow down. You don't need to catch up. You are already moving at the perfect speed, the speed of a world made for life. And as your thoughts drift, as the silence deepens, perhaps a question forms, gentle and slow. If the Earth spins so smoothly, then does it spin the same way everywhere? There is a line around the Earth's middle, not drawn, not carved, not raised, but real. It is the equator, and it marks the planet's widest circle. Here the world turns its fastest. Here the spin stretches furthest. Here you ride the longest path with every rotation. And still it feels like nothing at all. You lie still, and yet, if you were standing at the equator, your body would be sweeping through space at roughly 1,037 miles per hour. Faster than sound, faster than most planes fly, and you wouldn't feel a thing. No tug, no pull, no sense of sliding across a curve. That is the elegance of motion when it is shared. Imagine a child spinning with their arms outstretched, a ribbon in hand. The hand circles gently, but the ribbon at the end makes a wide, wild arc. The further from the centre, the faster it moves. So it is with Earth. The equator is the ribbon's end, boy, moving widest, moving fastest. Yet even at this edge there is calm. The Earth is a sphere, and as it spins ends, every point makes a circle. But not all circles are equal. Near the poles the circle shrinks, almost to a point. There you turn slowly, barely shifting at all in space. But here, near the middle, the circle is wide. You trace a great ring with every day looping around the globe in silence. It's not a difference you feel, but it's real. Stand near the equator, and the sun seems to move differently. It rises straight up, hangs high above, and drops quickly again. Shadows are shorter. Days and nights are more equal. The spin shapes not just space, but time. Time is a circle here, smooth and symmetric, and though you move faster here than almost anywhere else on Earth, the sensation is no different. Because again, everything moves with you. The air, the trees, the clouds, the birds flying overhead, the waves lapping at the shore. All of them are part of the same wide, graceful turn. Your body does not feel the speed because it has always known it. You were born into it. This rhythm, this balance, this movement. And so it became a part of you. If you were to leap ever so slightly at the equator, you might land a fraction of an inch further than you would elsewhere, carried gently by the greater speed. If you could throw a ball perfectly eastward, it might travel just a bit further here, aided by the motion beneath it. It's subtle, invisible, but always there. The speed at the equator is not dangerous. It's not even close to being too fast. Gravity still holds you firmly. The Earth is spinning at a speed that has found harmony with its mass. It knows its limits, and that is part of what makes this place feel still even at its edge. This speed does have effects, though, quiet ones. Over millennia, the faster spin at the equator caused the Earth to bulge slightly there. The planet is not a perfect sphere. It is wider at the middle, like a softly rounded belly. The spin shapes the Earth as surely as it shapes your sense of stillness. Even gravity feels slightly weaker here. Not enough to notice, but enough to measure. A person at the equator weighs just a little less than someone at the poles. This isn't just because of the distance from the centre of the Earth, it's because that spin eases gravity's pull just slightly, like a gentle counterforce. So here you are, on the widest path, moving at the swiftest pace, and you feel nothing but calm. Because what matters is not the speed, but the smoothness. It is change that your body notices, not motion itself. And there is no change here, only perfect flow. The equator wraps around 12 countries. It crosses oceans and rainforests, islands and plains. But it isn't just a place on a map. It's an idea, a point of balance, a midpoint of motion. It is where the Earth's spin finds its greatest expression. And still, not even the birds notice. Stand on the equator and watch the stars. They rise and fall in straight lines. They move evenly across the sky, neither circling tightly nor hanging long. The celestial dance reflects the balance of your place on Earth. The motion here is stretched, extended, and equal, and you in the middle of it are part of that balance. There's something beautiful in knowing that at the equator, the ground beneath your feet moves faster than anywhere else, and yet offers no sign of urgency, no drama, no roar, just speed wrapped in stillness. And perhaps that's what stillness really means. Not the absence of motion, but the alignment of all motion. A shared direction, a collective calm. At the equator, this stillness becomes clearest, because the motion is widest yet smoothest, and you're always part of it, no matter where you stand. But here, at the Earth's middle, the arc you trace is longest, the journey is widest, and still your body rests. Even at the edge of motion, you're held. And maybe in this edge, in this gentle rush, you begin to wonder, what happens at the other end of the spectrum, where motion narrows and stillness becomes something else? At the very top and bottom of the world, something curious happens. The Earth is still spinning, always spinning, but near the poles the feeling of that motion changes. Not in your body, not in your breath, but in the silent geometry beneath your feet. Here, at the ends of the Earth, circles become points, and motion becomes stillness, not in truth, but in rhythm. If the equator is a wide sweep, a dancer's outstretched arm tracing the full arc of a stage, then the poles are where that dancer turns in place. A gentle pirouette, slow and centered. You are still moving, still part of the Earth's rotation, but the circle you draw is tight, small, nearly still. Stand at the North or South Pole and your feet turn once each day, just like everywhere else on Earth. But the space you cross is so slight that it feels more like a whisper than a movement. No rushing, no arc, no speed to notice. Just a soft turning, a spin you do not feel. And yet the Earth keeps its rhythm. One full rotation every 24 hours. The same motion, but expressed in different shapes. Wide loops at the equator. Slow spirals at the poles. This is the secret of the poles. Motion and stillness can be the same thing. Here, time behaves differently too. The sun does not rise and fall each day as it does near the middle of the world. Instead, it circles the sky, barely dipping for months at a time. There are days without night, nights without dawn, seasons that stretch light across entire months. It is as though time itself begins to turn in place. And even though you may not feel it in your skin, you are still part of the Earth's spin. Gravity holds you just the same. Inertia carries you forward. But here, the forward path is short, a tight surface beneath your boots. You spin in place like the silent centre of a turning wheel. There is something deeply peaceful about this. Something grounding in the idea that motion need not be grand to be real. That even a slow turn barely traced still belongs to the same dance. Imagine looking up at the sky from one of these poles. The stars do not sweep from horizon to horizon. They rotate above your head in perfect circles. The North Star, Polaris, holds nearly still in the northern sky, and the constellations wheel around it slowly, predictably. You're standing at the axis, the pivot point of the planet, and yet you feel no spin, no pull, no shift, because your body is part of it. Aligned with the very centre of Earth's motion, your senses grow quiet. Your equilibrium settles. There is no curve beneath your step, only a steady presence, still and turning all at once. The idea may seem strange, that where the Earth spins fastest, you feel no motion, and where it spins slowest, you still feel none. But the truth is simple. Your body is tuned to change, not constancy. And whether your motion stretches wide or narrows to a gentle point, you're always in balance. Stillness, after all, is not just a place, it is a feeling, a harmony. And at the poles, the silence deepens. There are no cities here, no highways, no rush. Just snow and rock, ice and air. Winds may howl, storms may pass, but the ground beneath your feet is unhurried. Its turn is patient, smooth, unnoticed. This place, this turning point is the very symbol of quiet continuation. And though few people ever visit these ends of the Earth, the poles are always there, turning, balancing, marking the symmetry of the planet's spin. They do not need your presence to perform their slow dance. They do not ask to be seen. They simply turn, faithfully. You're not often asked to think of these places, far from your daily life, far from warm air and soft light. But tonight, in this bedtime journey, you can imagine yourself there, standing on a place where direction fades. Every step is south from the North Pole, every step is north from the south, and yet you do not fall, you do not drift. Gravity holds you, inertia carries you. The earth beneath you does what it has always done. There is comfort in that even at the very edge of everything, you are part of a system so vast and precise, it carries on whether you feel it or not. You do not need to steer it, you do not need to measure it, you only need to know that it is happening. And so whether you ride the equator's wide arc or spin gently at the pole, the peace remains. Stillness takes many forms. It can be the hush of a snowy plain, the calm of a steady breeze, the silence of motion that is too smooth to disturb. And now you know, even spinning in place is motion. Even quiet movement belongs to the great pattern. The secret of the poles is this. Motion is not always fast, and stillness isn't always still. As you rest deeper, as your breath joins the quiet rhythm of sleep, a question stirs like snowflakes falling through still air. If every point on Earth moves differently, then what happens as the whole Earth moves through space? Tonight, as you lie still, your body is flying through space. Not a dream, not a metaphor, a truth as vast as it is silent. You are not only turning with the Earth, but soaring around the sun, right now, without pause, without noise, at a speed that defies imagination, 7,000 miles per hour, and you feel none of it. There is no roaring wind, no rattling walls, no sense of racing across a cosmic highway, just breath and rest, and the soft pull of gravity. Yet this speed, so immense, so constant, is one of the most remarkable features of your existence. You're orbiting the sun, riding along a curved path through the solar system. And the beauty of it is, you don't need to feel it, because you belong to it. Imagine the Earth as a stone in a slingshot pulled close by the sun's gravity and flung forward by its own momentum. That motion set in place long ago never ends. The Earth doesn't fall into the sun, it doesn't fly away. Instead, it falls around the sun, always pulled inward. always moving forward. This is orbit, a delicate balance between gravity and motion. If Earth moved slower, it would spiral inward and be lost in the sun's heat. If it moved faster, it would break free and drift into darkness. But at this precise speed, this perfect harmony of movement and mass, the Earth follows its loop again and again year after year. You are part of that loop. You, your home, the trees outside, the oceans, the clouds, all of it bundled into Earth's vast forward motion. We call it a year, but what it truly is one full journey around the sun. Each morning sunrise is a marker of your planet's turning. But the changing seasons, spring's bloom, summer's stretch, autumn's hush, winter's retreat, these are the gifts of Earth's orbit. As your world tilts and travels, light and shadow dance across its surface, creating time as we know it, and all the while you move through space. At 67,000 miles per hour, the Earth crosses nearly 1.6 million miles every day. That's over 6,000 miles during a single night's sleep. And still you are rocked so gently that your dreams remain undisturbed. There is no engine, no wings, just gravity and motion, married in silence. Why can't you feel it? Because this journey is smooth. So smooth that your body, your senses, your balance, all of it is carried equally. There is no bump, no change in speed, no friction to signal motion. You're inside the motion, not against it. Think of a satellite orbiting the Earth. It doesn't need to flap wings or fire engines continuously. Once it reaches the right speed, it falls forever around the Earth, a kind of infinite glide. The Earth does the same, but on a grander scale. It orbits the sun not by force but by balance. You don't float away because the Earth holds you close, and the Earth doesn't float away because the sun holds it close. One pull within another, like nesting dolls of gravity. Your feet may be on the ground, but that ground is always in motion, falling forward, turning sideways, carried in invisible arms. It's easy to forget, isn't it, that this motion exists at all. We measure time in years, mark birthdays, plant crops, count down to new beginnings. But behind all of those rituals is the same path, the same journey. The Earth tracing its wide circle around a burning star. This orbit is not a perfect circle, though. It's an ellipse, slightly stretched, like a soft oval. At times, Earth is closer to the sun, at others farther away. But the change is gentle, the pace steady. The seasons are shaped more by Earth's tilt than its distance, and so the orbit remains smooth, a calm ride on a curved rail. And while we move, we are not alone. Other planets orbit too. Mercury whirling fast and close, Jupiter lumbering far and slow. The whole solar system is a vast clock, each planet a hand moving in measured time. And Earth, with its speed and angle and spin, ticks along precisely peacefully. Even the moon, your constant night companion, follows this journey. Bound to Earth, it orbits as Earth orbits, painting tides into the sea and patterns into the sky. Together, you and the moon glide around the sun, dancers in a cosmic waltz you never see but always join. And beyond the sun itself moves, pulling all its planets with it. Around the galaxy's core it travels, 500,000 miles per hour in another vaster orbit, which means that even as you orbit the sun, you are spiraling through space in an even greater arc. Every breath you take is part of that spiral. Every blink, every heartbeat happens while soaring across the cosmos. Yet you feel still, and that is the mystery, the perfection of motion at the right speed. The balance that allows motion to disappear into experience. You're not thrown and not shaken, you're carried. It's easy to believe you're stationary because the room is quiet, the ground steady, but every atom in you is part of this flight. You are a traveller, a voyager, not just across a planet, but through the fabric of space itself. This is not a journey you chose, it is a journey you were born into. And in that knowing there is comfort, because it means that movement does not need to be loud to be real. That speed does not need to be felt to be true, that you can be flying through space and still feel safe enough to sleep. So tonight, as you rest, know that you're moving, fast and far, without ever leaving your bed. The world beneath you turns, the world with you soars, and you, gently held, belong to every part of it. And now, maybe you wonder, if this perfect path around the sun is so smooth, what gives it its rhythm, its light, its changing moods? The Earth does not sit straight. As it spins, as it orbits the sun, it leans, just a little, just enough, about 23.5 degrees off centre. Not toppled, not unbalanced, but gently tilted, like a sleepy head resting on a shoulder. And this small slant, this quiet angle, is what brings you spring's bloom and winter's hush. It is the tilt that breathes the seasons. Without it, the world would know no variation, no swelling summer heat, no crisp autumn air, no long winter nights or early spring light. Each day would be like the one before, the sun tracing the same path across the sky, unchanging. The planet would turn, yes, but it would not shift, and life as you know it would feel very different. But because the Earth tilts, the light dances. Picture the globe as it orbits the sun, tilted, spinning, moving. As it journeys through the year, different parts of the Earth lean toward the sun, then away. When your hemisphere tilts forward, you receive more light, more warmth. When it leans back, the days shorten and the air cools. From this slow bow and lift of the planet, the rhythm of the seasons unfolds. Summer arrives not because the Earth is closer to the sun, but because your part of the world is turned toward it. More direct sunlight, more hours of day. Winter comes not because of distance, but because your world leans away. The light slants, weak and low, and the nights grow long. This is the poetry of the tilt, subtle, constant, deeply felt. You don't see the tilt with your eyes, but you see its results everywhere. In the way shadows stretch differently through the year, in the angle of sunrise shifting across your horizon, in the smell of the soil after snow, the golden haze of summer evenings, the first breath of cold in early autumn. All of it because Earth leans. And the lean doesn't change as the planet orbits. It remains steady, like a spinning top tilted at a fixed angle. So as the Earth travels around the sun, that angle interacts with the sun's position differently every day. It is this interaction, this dance of tilt and orbit, that shapes the light falling across your life. From this, the calendar is born. Equinoxes mark the days when day and night share the sky equally, when the tilt leans neither toward nor away. These are days of balance, spring's beginning, fall's entry, and solstices too. The longest day and longest night arise from the extremes of tilt, when one pole is closest to the sun and the other farthest. The seasons are not simply about temperature, they are about light. More light means more energy, longer growing seasons, brighter skies. Less light brings rest, a slowing down, a softening. Even animals respond to this rhythm. Birds migrate, trees shed leaves, bears dream through the dark. Life follows light, and light follows tilt. You are part of that pattern, whether you notice it or not. In summer you may feel more open, stretching into the evening, basking in warmth. In winter you may turn inward, drawn to softness, stillness, the glow of lamps and blankets. These moods are not accidents. They echo the Earth's lean, the length of the day, the angle of light. Light touches your skin differently in July than it does in January. You may not measure the angle, but your body feels it. In your eyes, your breath, your energy. Circadian rhythm shifts slightly with the seasons. Your sleep, your hunger, even your emotions ebb and flow with the quality of light. And through it all, the Earth keeps leaning. It does not rock or wobble wildly. It holds its tilt with quiet certainty, guiding the planet through each year, like a conductor guiding a symphony. Not through sound, but through motion. A bow of the axis. a sweep of the orbit, a slow rotation under the changing sky. This lean also decides where you live under the sky's rhythms. Near the equator, the difference between seasons is gentle. Light stays fairly constant, days and nights nearly equal. But as you move toward the poles, the contrast sharpens. Summers are soaked in sun, winters cloaked in dark. The further you go, the more dramatic the shift, and the more you feel the lean. And yet, wherever you are, the rhythm continues. The tilt never stops. And so neither do the seasons. The axis remains pointed in the same direction, toward the North Star, as Earth completes its orbit. This consistency creates change, a paradox of motion. That steady tilt causes the ever-turning wheel of seasons. You might think such balance fragile. A small shift one way or the other could change everything. But Earth has held this lean for eons, and life has adapted around it. Forests, animals, weather, cultures, all moulded by the path of light, all sculpted by a slant. So tonight, as you rest, know this. You are tilted too. Not your body, but your place on Earth. You are sleeping on a gentle angle, turned toward or away from the sun, depending on the season. And as you breathe, that tilt is shaping the dawn to come, deciding when light will spill through your window, what colours will paint the sky, what air will greet your day. It's a quiet influence, but a profound one. And perhaps, as your thoughts begin to dim and drift, you wonder, if the seasons are shaped by light, and light by tilt, then how does the sky tell time? You lie beneath the sky, your breath soft, your body still. Above you, stars bloom in the velvet dark, pinpricks of ancient light, steady and bright. They seem to hang motionless, eternal, untouched by time. But as the hours pass, they begin to drift, slowly, gently, like a mobile over a cradle. The stars don't move, but you do. The earth spins beneath them, and it's that spin, slow and constant, that makes the stars appear to turn. They sweep across the sky, not because they journey across the heavens, but because you are turning your face with the earth, rotating into and out of view. It's a beautiful illusion, and it has guided wanderers for thousands of years. Long before clocks or compasses, humans looked up and saw time stitched into the stars. They noticed how constellations rose and set, how some stars circled endlessly, while others appeared and disappeared with the seasons. They understood instinctively that the sky could tell you where you were, and when. You can feel it too if you let yourself watch. Lie still long enough beneath a clear sky, and you'll see the stars glide. They don't twinkle into place, they arc, east to west, just like the sun, just like the moon. It's the rotation of the earth you're seeing, made visible in the greatum above. In the northern hemisphere, the stars circle a point in the sky near Polaris, the North Star. It stays fixed, while the rest spins slowly around it, like spokes on a turning wheel. It has long been a guide for travellers, a quiet promise in the night. Follow me north. In the southern hemisphere, there is no single star so precisely placed, but the sky still turns, still arcs, still holds its rhythm. Constellations like the Southern Cross mark direction, just as surely. The sky is different in every part of the world, but the movement remains, because the earth moves, and the stars remember. They are far beyond you, farther than your mind can easily grasp. Even the closest are light years away, their glow having travelled for decades to reach your eyes. You're not watching them in real time, you're watching history. The light of a moment long past arriving just now, and yet they feel immediate, present. They shimmer in your gaze as if they breathe. Perhaps that's because your ancestors watched them too, for warmth, for wonder, for navigation, for story. They drew lines between stars and made pictures, bears and hunters, lions and swans. The sky became a map not only of place but of meaning, a way to remember, a way to dream. The stars tell stories not just through myth, but through movement. As the seasons shift, the constellations change. Orion hunts in winter skies. Scorpius curls across summer nights. The Earth's orbit around the Sun changes your nighttime window, revealing different pieces of the cosmos as the months turn. The sky then is a calendar, one that repeats each year, but never feels quite the same. And even more subtly, over many years, the stars drift, a phenomenon called precession. The Earth's axis wobbles, ever so slowly like a spinning top. Over centuries, this shifts the position of the stars, changing which ones mark the pole, altering the sky's ancient clock. But that change is too slow to see in one lifetime. What you see tonight is the same sky your ancestors saw, the same curve of light, the same arc of constellations. This sky is a mirror of motion, not of the stars, but of you. Each time a star rises in the east and sets in the west, it is because the Earth has turned. You, your bed, your home, your city, all have rotated into a new frame of the celestial sphere. Like rotating a snow globe and seeing the glitter fall from a different angle, the universe appears to move, but it is you who turns. And the sky never resists, it turns with you, quietly, faithfully. If you could speed up time, you'd see the stars wheel above you like clock hands. Polaris would stay firm. Everything else would swirl in slow circles. The night would spin like a carousel of light. But at this speed, this calm bedtime pace, the sky whispers instead of sings. You don't need to track the stars to find comfort in them. Just knowing they're there, steady, slow, silent, can be enough. A reminder that the Earth moves with precision, that the night, however dark, follows an ancient rhythm. Look again and see how the stars arch gently over trees, over rooftops, over rivers. This arc is proof of Earth's turn. The sky becomes a moving map, not one of places, but of perspective. Even in a world filled with artificial light and fast time, the stars remain unchanged. They cannot be hurried. They do not blink with distraction. They turn because you turn, and by watching them, you return to stillness. Maybe this is why stargazing soothes us, because in that quiet act, we align with the turning world. We notice motion by noticing its illusion. We see ourselves reflected in the sky, always moving, always grounded, and in their gentle turning, the stars teach us to be patient, to trust in cycles, to watch slowly. So tonight, as your eyelids grow heavy and your body softens into rest, know that the stars are turning overhead, not fast, not loud, but truly. Their journey marks your own. Their stillness is your motion. And just before sleep takes you, you may wonder, if the sky marks the hours with arcs of light, then how does the Earth itself keep time? Time is not ticking, it is turning. The seconds you count, the hours you trace, the years you mark with candles and calendars, they're all carved from motion. From the Earth's endless spinning, from its sweeping orbit around the sun, from the sky's slow dance across your ceiling. Time is not made of gears or bells, it is made of movement. Your day begins not when a clock says so, but when the Earth has turned enough for light to reach your part of the sky. Morning is the moment your home rotates into sunlight. Evening, the moment it turns away. Every sunrise is a result of rotation. One more degree in the Earth's daily spin. One full turn, 360 degrees, takes about 24 hours. One complete revolution, and the sun returns to the same place in your sky. That is what a day is, a single spin of your world. You do not feel this spin, but you live by it. You wake, you work, you rest, you dream, all within the rhythm of this turning. Not because the clock tells you to, but because your body listens to light. Your circadian rhythm, buried in your biology, is shaped by Earth's motion. Even without clocks, your cells sense time through dawn and dusk. And just as one spin gives you a day, one orbit gives you a year. The Earth, still tilted, still spinning, travels around the Sun once every 365.25 days. This long, sweeping journey defines the seasons, not just by warmth and cold, but by the position of light in the sky, the length of days, the angle of shadows. Your calendar is simply a map of where Earth is in its orbit. January is one place, July is another. The months are milestones on an invisible trail around the Sun, markers of a journey you take again and again, whether you notice or not. And leap years? That extra quarter day every year adds up. Every 4 years it becomes one full day and a quiet correction to keep our calendars aligned with the sky. Even our corrections are carved from motion. You might think of time as abstract and something invented and something held in devices or scribbled in schedules, but it is more grounded than that, more physical. You live inside time the way a bird lives inside wind, not apart from it but shaped by it. The shadows know. Before there were clocks, there were sundials. A stick in the ground, a mark on the floor, and the shadow told you what the sun had already said. The Earth is turning. The shadow lengthens and shrinks, not because time passes, but because the angle of light changes. Even now, the sun's position in the sky tells the time. Noon is not when your phone says 12 Hintuak. It is when the sun is highest above you. That moment shifts slightly each day, depending on your place, your season, your world's spin. It is not fixed. It is part of a rhythm. The moon tells time too. Its cycle, from full to new and back again, takes about 29.5 days. Lunar months, the earliest calendars, followed this cycle. Even the word month comes from moon. Your ancestors watched its phases and marked their days accordingly, knowing that time was written in the sky. And the stars. They shift too. Each night a different part of the galaxy leans into view. Over weeks and months constellations move. Their positions reveal the time of year, the progression of Earth's orbit. Sailors once used this motion to navigate. Farmers used it to plant and harvest. All by watching the sky's slow, dependable clock. You're surrounded by these celestial timepieces. The Earth spins, the Earth orbits, the moon circles, the stars drift. Every second you live is a product of this cosmic choreography. Even the smallest units of time, seconds, minutes, were once based on the movement of the heavens. The division of the day into 24 hours comes from ancient Egypt, from the tracking of 12 hours of day and 12 of night. Later, those hours were divided into 60 minutes, then 60 seconds, not because of the sky, but because of math, because of base 60 counting systems from Babylonian times. But the roots remain. Even atomic clocks, the most precise devices we have, are still calibrated against the motion of Earth. If our planet's spin shifts even slightly, the definition of a second must be reconsidered. Time is not just measured by motion, it depends on it. And you, resting now, are part of this clock. Your heartbeat pulses in time with the planet's rotation. Your sleep follows the length of night. Your life unfolds in chapters shaped by Earth's movement, morning to evening, season to season, year to year. You're not outside time, you're made of it. Your skin feels the cold shift of autumn. Your eyes adjust to summer's brightness. Your thoughts stretch in long winter nights and flicker with spring's return. Time is not just passing around you, it is blooming within you, as real as breath. And it is motion, always motion, that gives it shape. Without spin, there would be no days. Without orbit, no years. Without tilt, no seasons. Time as you know it would disappear. Only an unchanging sky, a frozen sun, an eternal now. But motion brings change. Change brings rhythm. Rhythm becomes memory. And memory with motion becomes time. So tonight, as you close your eyes, think not of numbers or hours or ticking hands. Think of horizons, of the earth turning toward light, then away again. Think of shadows moving gently across your floor, of stars shifting position as you sleep. Think of yourself as part of a living clock, not mechanical but celestial, one whose hands are the heavens themselves. And as your thoughts settle into the slow drift of rest, you may begin to wonder, if time is written in motion, then how does your body feel? Movement it cannot see. You lie in the quiet dark, body still, breath soft, eyes closed. Nothing around you moves, and yet somewhere deep inside your body listens, not with ears, but with something more ancient, more delicate, a system of fluid and hair, balance and whisper. This is how your body knows motion, even when your skin does not. Inside your head, behind your eyes, hidden deep within the bones of your skull, are 3 tiny loops, each curled like a sleeping cat. They are your semicircular canals, part of the vestibular system, and they're filled with fluid, clear, quiet, always ready. When you move, the fluid moves. When you tilt, it flows. And brushing against the inner walls of these canals are tiny hairs, microscopic sensors that bend with the motion. When they bend, they speak. Not in words, but in signals sent straight to your brain. And your brain listens. It always listens. Even when you aren't aware, your vestibular system is alert. It knows when you turn your head, when you stand, when you sway, even slightly. It knows when you spin, when you fall, when the world tilts beneath you. But when everything moves together, your body, your chair, the earth, the system stays quiet. Because motion, when shared perfectly, doesn't need to be announced. That's why you don't feel the earth spinning. The rotation is constant, smooth, unchanged. There's nothing to compare it against. No start, no stop, no shift. Your vestibular system feels no push, no pull, and so it rests, still as you are. But when things change suddenly, a car brakes, an elevator rises, a boat rocks, your inner system springs to life. Fluid swirls, hairs bend, messages fire. Your brain adjusts your posture, your eyes, your breath. Balance is protected in real time. This happens without thinking. It is a reflex as old as walking upright. And alongside the canals, tucked nearby in the labyrinth of your inner ear, are 2 small organs called the utricle and saccule. They detect linear acceleration. Forward and back, up and down. They use tiny crystals floating in gel that shift when you do. Their motion bends the hairs beneath them. More signals, more whispers. You're made to sense motion, even with eyes closed, even in darkness. Even when the world is still, your body is aware. That feeling when you spin too fast and the world keeps moving after you stop, that's your fluid still swirling, your brain still adjusting, balance catching up to motion. And when you lose balance, when you stumble or sway, your body calls upon these sensors to steady you. Muscles engage, eyes shift. You return to center. This is not just balance, this is perception. This is your body's way of knowing what still truly means. Stillness, then, is not the absence of movement, but the harmony of it. When your senses, your position, and your motion all agree, your body feels calm. When they clash, motion without visual change, or sight without expected motion, confusion arises. That's when dizziness begins. That's motion sickness. That's imbalance. Astronauts feel it when they leave Earth. With no gravity to ground them, their vestibular systems lose reference. Up and down become ideas, not directions. And the body must relearn stillness in a place where motion floats free. But here, under gravity's hand, your system knows what to do. Your body is a finely tuned compass, always aware of where down is, always recalibrating to your movement. Whether walking, lying, running, or rocking, you are never lost in space. Because the quiet ballet inside your head keeps the rhythm. Even in sleep, your body senses motion. Turn too quickly in bed and your inner ear adjusts. Dream you're falling and your body might jolt awake. These aren't just dreams, they are echoes of your vestibular world, blending memory and movement. Children explore this system early. They spin, tumble, roll, not just for fun, but to teach their bodies what motion feels like. A game of dizzy circles is also a lesson in self-awareness. Through play, the brain learns to trust the body. As you grow, the senses refine. You walk without looking at your feet. You ride in cars without watching the road. Your body feels motion and knows when to ignore it. So why don't you feel the Earth orbiting the Sun? Why don't you notice the spin? Because there is no signal to detect. No sudden shift. No swirling fluid. The motion is perfect, constant, uniform. It is the kind of movement your vestibular system was built to overlook. And perhaps deep down, your body understands this, that some motion is meant to be felt and some is meant to hold you quietly. That's the magic of your inner senses. They alert you to what matters, a fall, a shift, a danger. But when the motion is safe, smooth, shared, they let you rest. They let you believe in stillness, even as you fly through space. So tonight, as you breathe and drift, know that your balance is protected. Your head holds a whispering compass, tuned to gravity and motion, tuned to peace. You do not need to steer it. You only need to trust it. Even now it holds you steady. And perhaps, as you float towards sleep, a thought stirs. If the body can sense such silent motion, then what else in the cosmos is moving, so gently we never knew? High above you, the moon hangs in the night like a silent guardian, pale, steady, ancient. It does not shine its own light, but reflects the sun's glow, bathing the world in silver softness. You've seen it through windows and from fields, in its many phases, full, half, crescent, gone. But what you may not always feel is its pull, because while it lights the sky with borrowed fire, it pulls the earth with gravity, gently, endlessly, without sound. And that pull, though distant, shapes the seas, the tides, and even you. The moon tugs at the oceans. As Earth turns and the moon orbits, water follows that lunar pull, not all at once, but in flowing waves. Tides rise and fall because the moon's gravity stretches the oceans toward it. Wherever the moon is above, the sea leans ever so slightly in its direction, drawn forward by this quiet force. It is a slow dance, not of crash or crash, but of rhythm and swell. Each day you can see it. Waves creeping up the sand and slipping back. Harbours filling and emptying. Shorelines breathing in and out. These movements aren't accidents. They are responses to the moon's call, repeating like the pulse of a sleeping world. And though the sun also plays a part, adding or subtracting from the moon's pull, it is the moon that is the tide's master. The tide is not a single rise or fall, but a system. 2 high tides and 2 low tides most days, caused by both the moon's pull and the Earth's spin. One tide follows the moon directly, while another rises on the opposite side of the Earth, pulled by the inertia of the oceans trying to escape that central tug. So the water moves again and again around the planet, and with it, life moves too. Tiny organisms drift with the tides. Fish follow the rhythms. Coral spawns in sync with the full moon. Even the crust of the Earth, the land beneath your feet, bulges slightly under lunar influence. Not enough to see, not enough to shake, but enough to prove the moon pulls everything, including you. Your body is mostly water, more than half of you made of the same substance that forms oceans, rivers, rain. And so the moon, in its distant silence, pulls on you too. Gently, minutely. Not enough to lift you off your bed, but enough to be real. Science hasn't yet proven that the moon moves your moods or sleep, but people have felt it for generations. Farmers once planted by the lunar cycle. Poets wrote odes to its magnetism. Sailors timed their journeys with tides. There is something about its presence, calm and distant, that seems to echo within us. Perhaps it is memory, buried deep, of a time when the tides mattered more directly, when water levels meant safety, survival, food, or perhaps it is simply the feeling of being connected, of knowing that even while you sleep, something so far away gently pulls at the sea inside you. There's a reason you feel calm under moonlight, a reason why its glow feels different than daylight. The moon is soft where the sun is strong, cool where the sun is hot. It asks nothing, it reflects, and in doing so, it reminds us that presence doesn't always need power to be felt. The moon's orbit is not a perfect circle. It is slightly elliptical, closer at some points, farther at the others. This changes its pull just a little. The tides respond. The Earth responds. Even the speed of Earth's rotation slows fraction by fraction because of the moon's drag on our oceans. The moon is shaping time itself. When the moon first formed, likely from a massive collision billions of years ago, it was closer. The Earth spun faster, the days were shorter. Over eons, as the moon drifted away, pulled at the tides, and the tides pulled back, that friction slowed Earth's spin. Bit by bit, day by day, the length of a day grew. Now, our 24-hour rhythm is, in part, a gift from the moon. So the tides are more than just water moving. They are clocks. They are records of change. They are the moon's invisible handwriting on the Earth's surface. And tonight, while you rest, the moon continues to pull. The oceans move, though you do not hear them. The Earth shifts its weight, just slightly. Your body, too, lies under that same subtle force. You are part of the tide even when far from the sea. So close your eyes and imagine the ocean's edge, the soft hush of waves, the moonlight silvering the sand. Imagine the pull, gentle even, like a breath drawn slowly in. Imagine the rhythm, in, out, rise, fall, and let it match your breath. This is gravity at its most graceful, not crashing but cradling. The moon holds Earth in its orbit, and the Earth holds the moon. The two are locked in a bull embrace, circling each other forever, one never quite letting go of the other. That tension, or balance, stable, is what creates the tides, what creates calm. And just as the Earth spins, and just as it orbits the sun, it also rocks slightly on its axis because of the moon's presence, a soft stabilizing motion that prevents wild swings in climate, in seasons, in time. Without the moon, life as we know it might never have found footing. The moon is more than light in the sky. It is a guardian of motion, a keeper of rhythms, a partner in stillness. So tonight, as the tide rolls somewhere far off and the moon keeps watch in a sky full of stars, remember this: you are held, pulled gently, aligned with something greater. And as sleep begins to rise like a tide within you, a question drifts through the silence. If the moon can move oceans with quiet gravity, then what else in this universe is turning beyond what we can see? You felt the turning of the Earth. You followed its orbit around the sun. You floated with the moon through tides and time. But there is more, much more. Beyond this world, beyond this star, lies a grander spiral, a deeper rhythm, a motion so vast it can only be held by galaxies. Tonight we rise even further. The Earth spins, this, you know. The sun too spins, taking the planets with it, sweeping you through space like a leaf in its current. But the sun is not still in the galaxy. It orbits the centre of the Milky Way, a slow arc that takes about 25 million years to complete. You, right now, are part of that great journey. The sun drags the Earth along with it, and together you ride through a sea of stars, not floating but moving at over 500,000 miles per hour. It is a velocity beyond sensation, a pace too perfect to feel. The stars around you seem fixed only because they are so far and you are moving with them. And the galaxy itself, the Milky Way, spins too. Like a great cosmic pinwheel, it rotates around its own centre, a place wrapped around something strange and powerful, a supermassive black hole. Not a hole in space, but a concentration of mass so dense that not even light escapes. You don't need to fear it. It is far away, but it shapes the galaxy with its gravity, holding millions of stars in its grasp. Everything turns, everything moves. The stars in the spiral arms circle the centre. The arms themselves drift like waves. Dark matter, unseen but real, adds mass and shape. Galaxies collide and merge even as they spin, not quickly but slowly over billions of years. The sky looks calm, but it's filled with motion. Stillness is only local. Like nesting dolls, each level of motion contains another. The Earth spins inside the atmosphere. The Moon orbits the Earth orbits the Sun orbits the centre of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way, our entire galaxy, moves too, pulled by gravity toward other galaxies, flowing through the cosmic web. Even galaxies are not still. They drift through space, some toward each other, some apart. Our Milky Way is on a slow collision course with its neighbour, the Andromeda Galaxy. Not a crash, but a dance. In 4 billion years, they will swirl together into something new. 2 spirals becoming one, and you, your atoms, your cells, your breathage are made of this motion. The iron in your blood was formed in the heart of a star long ago. That star exploded, sending its elements into space. Those elements became dust, then planets, then you. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, all once moved through galaxies. You're stardust, spun into life. Even atoms spin. Electrons whirl around nuclei, not in circles but in clouds, positions of probability, guided by quantum rules. Inside the smallest pieces of matter, motion remains. There is no part of the universe, large or small, that is truly still, and yet you feel calm, because motion, when shared, becomes invisible. When everything moves together, you don't feel jostled or shaken. You feel held. This is the secret of cosmic motion. You are always moving and always still. Lying in bed tonight, your body seems at rest, but your atoms spin. Your planet turns, your star orbits, your galaxy flows. Motion wraps around you like a blanket, soft, constant, unbroken. There is no edge to this, no place where motion ends. Beyond the Milky Way are billions of other galaxies, each spinning, each moving. They form clusters and filaments stretching across space like threads in a vast web. The universe is expanding, so not into something but within itself. Every galaxy drifting away from every other, like raisins in rising dough. This expansion is not fast in human terms, but on cosmic scales it is immense. The space between galaxies grows, light stretches, time unfolds, and still, through all of it, you are here, breathing, resting, turning quietly inside an endless spiral. What does it mean to be part of something so large? It means you are not separate from the universe. You are its expression, a pattern of atoms arranged, for now in the shape of you. You're a moment of motion become still, a whisper of stardust finding pause. And perhaps that's what stillness truly is. Not the end of motion, but a balance within it. A harmony. The galaxy turns, the stars drift, the atoms hum, and you in this moment are perfectly placed within that grand design. Your breath rises and falls, echoing the tides. Your heartbeat ticks within time made of orbits. Your thoughts drift through fields of gravity. You are the centre of your experience, but not the centre of the universe, and that's where peace comes from. Knowing your place in a motion you don't have to control. So close your eyes and imagine it. The spirals, the stars, the slow, majestic turn of galaxies. Imagine being carried in that motion with no need to steer, no need to measure. You're already moving, you always were, and as sleep nears, soft as starlight, a question emerges. If all things spin, and all motion continues, then what lies at the heart of stillness? Now you rest. Your body is quiet, your limbs have softened, your breath moves in a rhythm that no longer asks for attention. Sleep begins to bloom around you, slow and scent like fog curling over still water. But beneath you, the earth continues to move. It turns as it always has, on its tilted axis, circling the sun with quiet devotion. Around you, everything appears still, walls, windows, rooftops, but the motion never steps. You are part of a world that never pauses, even when you close your eyes. And yet, you're safe within that motion. You don't feel the spin. You don't hear the orbit. Because your body is in harmony with it all. You were born into this movement, wrapped in it like a thread in fabric. You are not carried by the world, you are woven into it. Even in your sleep, the earth cradles you. Your head rests on a pillow, but that pillow moves through space. Your bed sits on a turning floor, which sits on a spinning planet, which drifts through the galaxy. And you, still bound to dreaming, move with it. This is what it means to be part of the cosmos, to belong to motion so vast, so constant, that it becomes the background of your being. There is no need to hold on, no need to resist. The earth knows how to carry you, the sun knows how to light the path, the galaxy spins, and you spin with it, no faster or slower than anything else around you. And in this great movement, there is peace. Your stillness is not separate from the motion, it is born of it. Like sitting on a boat gliding across a smooth lake, you feel only the calm, not the journey. But the journey happens all the same. It carries you forward, gently, silently. Even your dreams drift through this motion. They rise and fall with the rhythm of breath, shaped by memory, by feeling, by the deep quiet of night. And while your conscious mind lets go, something deeper still senses the turn of the earth, the hush of stars, the gravity of home. You are a creature of motion, and yet you long for stillness. But maybe, just maybe, stillness is not the opposite of motion. Maybe it is the feeling of being in balance with motion, a moment of pause that lives inside the turn like the silence between waves, a quiet that exists not because nothing is moving, but because everything is moving together. Stillness, then, is a kind of belonging. Your body belongs to gravity, your breath belongs to air, your thoughts belong to the time it takes light to fade from the room, and your sleep belongs to this moment. On this planet, in this spiral, within this turning sky, the earth moves for you and with you. It offers day and night, warmth and winter, tides and time. It spins not out of chaos, but out of rhythm, not to confuse, but to cradle. The ground beneath you is not still, but it is trustworthy. You're not falling, you're floating in gravity's arms. You're not lost. You're precisely placed in a path millions of miles long. You are not alone. The moon pulls at your oceans. The stars turn around your dreams. Even as you sleep, the world works in silence. The core of the earth spins within. The wind shifts across distant deserts. Rivers curl through valleys unseen. Leaves tremble in trees halfway across the globe. Every creature sleeps, or wakes, or moves in time with the motion you share. And still you rest. The sky above continues to turn, the stars, though distant, sweep their gentle arcs. The constellations move across the dome of night, slowly marking the hours with points of light. This is the clock you no longer need to read. Time flows without your watching, and in this flow, you're free. You do not have to move quickly, you do not have to catch up. You are not behind, you're exactly where you are meant to be. In the curve of this moment, in the arms of the earth. It turns, and you turn with it. It flies through space, and you fly with it. You're still only because the world holds you so gently in its motion. This is the stillness you've been seeking, not the kind that ends a movement, but the kind that lives inside it. So sleep now. Sleep with the knowledge that you are part of a turning world, spinning in quiet perfection. that every breath you take is wrapped in motion you never feel, that the ground beneath you hums with a rhythm older than words. Let your dreams drift like planets. Let your thoughts scatter like stars. Let your body be a moon, resting in orbit, peaceful in its path. The universe does not ask you to understand it tonight, it only asks you to trust its rhythm, to feel the lullaby of motion, to know that you are part of something infinite and yet intimately held. And as the night deepens, as your heartbeat slows, as your consciousness becomes a gentle tide, you begin to realize the world doesn't pause when you sleep. It carries you, it cradles you, it continues and always will. You're dreaming on a moving world, and still, somehow, it feels like home.